Now, I am never, ever going to be in support of children getting involved, being dragged into, or being used as a tool, as a weapon when daddy and mommy fall apart. I have never ever been in support of that. But we have to be realistic. We have to see things the way it is. In certain circumstances, situation, you have no option. Not at all. You have no option than to tell that your child to stay off from the other person. Let us use the Yul and Danielle case scenario and Mary and Judy Austin. Who in his or her mind, a good one, will allow their child to go around someone like Judy Austin, all in daddy needs to be around his children? Who? Who? Considering what happened to Kambili Chuku and the mystery surrounding it. In fact, the demise of Kambili Chuku is one of the most quiet that I've ever seen in that state called Lagos. We've seen cases where children slump or something happens to them, inquiries are done. I don't know, maybe the family did autopsy and toxicology, or there is this underlying health issue that they've been dealing with internally, I mean, as family, that they know of, and it seems, oh, this is the point of time. I don't know. None has been told to us publicly, and we do not want to dig deep into it. Most times, when sudden unalivement or RIP happens to someone, autopsy is often done to ascertain, apart from accidents, which is glaring. What happened to Kambili Chuku is something strange, but that's not what I want to go into. What I want to go into is what I am kind of having issues dealing with. It is that of grandfather Sapeth Edochie, the father of Yul. Yul has dragged and brought his family to the public. Now, you might be going through the same, or this might be a situation that you will be called into to advise or to suggest. How are you going to handle it? Let us use this that is happening as a case study, as an example. So, Yul and Danielle has not been having access to his children. One, he can't even meet up financially. I know that parents should do all that they can do to sustain their children. They never asked to be born. You brought them in. And whatever circumstance, whatever situation, whatever it is that happens, you just have to stick together and hope for the best, right? Now, in a case where family fell apart, daddy is not there, mommy is no longer with daddy, and both of you are like that. There are cases and instances where the man does everything possible and he can't just meet up. In the case of Yul and Danielle, it is his own thing that brought him into where he is right now. Now, are men appreciated only for what they can bring to the table? Is that what it is? Is that the reason why a man cannot be allowed to have access to his children if he cannot provide for those kids, right? Isn't that what it is? Now, Yul and Danielle wants to have access to his children, but they don't want to have anything to do with him, particularly Danielle. Danielle is the center of this because she is now the spokesperson for the rest of the underage. Danielle, normally during granddaddy's birthday, you will see her dropping some, apart from private conversation or phone call like that, grandpa, happy birthday, this, that, you know. She refused to do any of this. It was her mom that did it. But she refused, and she has refused ever since issues became complex and complicated. Meaning, she does not want to associate herself with the Edochies. And this, she's starting from Sapet Edochie down to his own father. Now, with these things happening, Yul and Edochie and his father, they both have spoken, and he has made it clear to his daddy that he's not having access to his children, and those kids, Mary, poison their mind towards him, and those kids don't respect him anymore. And he used to be their favorite, their friend. He will bring money, he will do this, he will do that. All of a sudden, because daddy decided to do what daddy wants to do for himself, they are now enemies. They are not friends anymore. And he has a right to see his kids. And, they've discussed and talked about these things every now and then, back and forth. Now, Sapet Edochie now decided, like, okay, this is 2025. This is a new year. Danielle, you are not getting younger. Who knows, maybe in the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, who knows? A man can come asking for your hand in marriage. And don't forget that it is not possible for you to get married according to our culture without your daddy being involved. Are you going to settle with your dad at the eve of your marriage? The eve of your wedding? Don't you know it's going to be complex and difficult for you, because you'll be required to appease your dad, and he knows he's waiting for you. He knows that you will need him at that point. How are you going to go about it? These are some of the things that Sapet Edochie told Danielle. Danielle, you need to consider a lot of things. You are not a man. And even men still need family. You still need family to be around when you are getting someone into your life. You need family to update them on marriage. So what are you going to do on this matter? What are you going to do about it? So Danielle listened to everything that your dad said. He wants to have access. He's trying to connect to you. You don't respond. You've blocked him. And I don't have anything to say about you dropping the Edochie. You are going to be married, so you are still going to drop it. So it's got nothing to do with me. It's your choice. It's your own way of protesting. But about relationship with your dad, at least pick his call, message him. I'm not saying you should jump into his house if you're not feeling good about it. Don't pretend, but don't rob your dad. Don't listen to your mom. Don't listen to all of those things that she's saying, because you don't even understand it all. Both of them understand it. Let them deal with it. But you try and embrace your dad, and also speak to your siblings. Once your siblings see that you are speaking to your daddy every now and then, they will also connect with you. So do it for the sake of your future. And also remember that this is your father. When the going was good, you embraced him, and all of a sudden now it seems he has become enemy. Danielle listened to everything that Grandpa said without saying anything. Of course, Grandpa knows that birthday messages are no longer and they are not coming anymore. So she listened to everything, and then she responded Grandpa by saying, sorry, I don't want to have anything to do with that man, because it's not my father. The father that I know, that I knew, is not the one that I am saying. So obviously this is not my father. Maybe this is a clone or some. This is not my dad. This is not my father. That's the reason why I cannot give access to him, because I don't know this man here that I'm looking at. Who knows what he can do to me? So it's better he stays in his own corner for my safety, for my mental health, and for my life in general. I don't want to. Maybe the day that marriage, maybe then my father will appear. But now, that dude that I'm looking at, that ain't my daddy. That's not my father. Not at all. These are the words of Danielle. Danielle is not getting younger anymore. And that's the thing about, imagine, Yul and Edochie is blessed, sort of. There are men who have not raised children or even a child that is of Danielle's age, and they fall in the same age bracket of Yul and Edochie, 43, 42, 43. You know, they've not even gotten a child that would be like, oh, next year, next 2 years, I'll be married. I will be. Yul and Edochie will say before 45, he's now a grandfather. You know, that kind of thing. Well, it is what it is. I don't know what your thoughts are as regards this matter. Drop your comments. See you in the next update.